Most riders believe owning a Harley requires a huge budget. But what if some of the best Harley-Davidson motorcycles are actually the ones dealers struggle to sell? Hidden in the used market are powerful V-twins, reliable cruisers, and touring machines selling for a fraction of their original price. Let's start with one of the most controversial Harleys ever released. Number 7. Harley-Davidson Street 750. Few Harley-Davidson motorcycles have divided riders quite like the Street 750. When it arrived in 2014, it represented something Harley had rarely attempted before: a motorcycle designed specifically for younger riders and urban commuting. Traditional Harley fans immediately pushed back. The Street 750 used a 749 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled Revolution X V-twin, producing around 53 horsepower and about 44 pound-feet of torque. Instead of the classic air-cooled rumble many Harley riders expected, this engine delivered a smoother, higher-revving personality. It was lighter, quieter, and far more manageable in city traffic. To longtime Harley purists, that sounded like betrayal. The bike was also assembled for global markets, including production in India, which further fueled criticism from traditionalists who expected every Harley to be built exclusively in the United States. Because of that backlash, the Street 750 quickly gained a reputation as the outsider of the Harley lineup. Many experienced riders ignored it completely, and dealerships often struggled to sell used examples after owners upgraded to larger models. But remove the stigma and the Street 750 reveals a different reality. At roughly 500 pounds wet, it is dramatically lighter than most Harleys, making it easy to maneuver in tight city streets. The low 25.7-inch seat height makes it approachable for new riders. The liquid cooling system prevents overheating in slow traffic, something older air-cooled Harleys often struggle with in hot weather. In short, it works extremely well as an everyday motorcycle. And that is where the opportunity appears. Because the bike was never embraced by the traditional Harley crowd, resale prices fell quickly. Today, many used Street 750s can be found between $3,000 and $5,000, often with very low mileage. For that price, you get a genuine Harley-Davidson with modern engineering, good reliability, and highway capability. Ignore the reputation, and the Street 750 becomes one of the cheapest gateways into Harley ownership. Number 6. Twin Cam 88 Touring Models. The phrase Twin Cam 88 makes some Harley buyers nervous, and that fear has created one of the best bargains in the used Harley market. Introduced in 1999, the Twin Cam 88 engine replaced the older Evolution motor in many Harley touring models. Displacing 1450 cubic centimeters, the engine delivered strong low-end torque and powered motorcycles like the Road King, Electra Glide, and Road Glide throughout the early 2000s. These bikes were built for long-distance comfort. Large frames, wide seats, windshield protection, and hard saddlebags made them ideal for highway touring. Even today, they still feel substantial and capable on long rides. However, one mechanical issue changed the bike's reputation. Early twin cam engines used spring-loaded cam chain tensioners that could wear prematurely. If the tensioner shoes deteriorated and were not replaced in time, debris could circulate through the engine oil system and potentially cause serious damage. Stories of this issue spread quickly through the motorcycle community, and many buyers began avoiding these motorcycles altogether. Dealers noticed. Trade-in values dropped, and many dealerships priced Twin Cam 88 touring bikes aggressively just to move them off the lot. But here is the key detail. Once the cam tensioner system is inspected or upgraded using later design components, the engine itself is widely considered durable and capable of running well past 100,000 miles. Many experienced mechanics actually appreciate the twin cam's smooth power delivery and classic Harley character. That reputation gap creates a significant opportunity. Today, full-size Harley touring motorcycles from the Twin Cam 88 era can often be found between $5,000 and $7,500 depending on condition and mileage. That means you can buy a genuine, long-distance touring Harley for the price of a mid-range commuter bike. For riders willing to verify maintenance history and address the known tensioner issue, these motorcycles offer enormous value. In the used market, fear often lowers prices faster than facts. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Dyna Superglide. The Harley-Davidson Dyna Superglide is one of those motorcycles that suffers from being too ordinary. Within the Dyna family, most buyers chase the flashier models. Bikes like the Street Bob, Lowrider, or Wide Glide attract attention with blacked-out finishes, aggressive styling, or custom-inspired details. Those motorcycles developed strong followings and often command higher prices in the used market. The Superglide, by comparison, always looked simple. Introduced decades ago and continuing through multiple generations, the Superglide was essentially the straightforward, no-frills version of the Dyna platform. Depending on the year, it was powered by engines like the Twin Cam 88, Twin Cam 96, or later Milwaukee 8 variants, delivering strong V-twin torque in a relatively lightweight cruiser chassis. Performance was never the issue. The Dyna platform is known for its solid frame design, responsive handling, and classic Harley riding feel. The Superglide shares the same mechanical foundation as its more popular siblings. The difference is mostly cosmetic: fewer chrome details, simpler paint, and less emphasis on flashy styling. Because of that, many buyers overlook it. Dealers often struggle to generate excitement around a used Superglide when more visually aggressive Dyna models are sitting nearby. As a result, the Superglide frequently sells for less money despite offering nearly identical performance. That creates an opportunity for riders who care more about riding than appearance. Used Superglides commonly appear between $5,500 and $7,500, sometimes even lower depending on mileage. Considering you are essentially getting the same engine and frame as more expensive Dyna models, the value becomes clear. The bike also works well as a customization platform. Its simple styling makes it easy to modify into a bobber, club-style cruiser, or stripped-down street machine. Sometimes the cheapest motorcycle in a lineup is not the worst one. Sometimes it is simply the one nobody bothered to notice. Number 4. Harley-Davidson FXDR 114. The Harley-Davidson FXDR 114 is one of the most powerful production cruisers Harley has built in recent years, yet it quickly became one of the most heavily discounted models in dealerships. Released in 2019, the FXDR was designed as a modern power cruiser with aggressive styling and serious performance potential. At the heart of the bike sits the Milwaukee 8 114 engine, a 1868cc V-twin producing massive torque around 119 pound-feet. That level of torque gives the bike explosive acceleration and strong roll-on power at highway speeds. This was not meant to be a traditional Harley cruiser. The FXDR used lightweight materials, including a composite tail section and aluminum swing arm, to reduce weight and improve handling. The bike also featured inverted front forks, a large 240mm rear tire, and aggressive intake styling, giving it a muscular drag bike appearance that stood out dramatically compared to other Harley models. On paper, it was impressive, but the market reacted cautiously. Traditional Harley buyers often disliked the futuristic styling and plastic body panels. Meanwhile, sport bike riders still saw the FXDR as a heavy cruiser rather than a true performance machine. The bike ended up caught between two different audiences, and that made it difficult for dealers to sell at its original price. When new, the FXDR carried a sticker price exceeding $21,000. Today, depreciation has changed the equation entirely. Used examples with relatively low mileage frequently appear between $11,000 and $14,000, sometimes even lower depending on location and condition. That means buyers can obtain a nearly modern Harley with one of the largest engines in the lineup for almost half the original price. Performance-wise, the FXDR delivers serious straight-line speed, strong torque, and surprisingly capable handling for a cruiser of its size. For riders who want modern muscle rather than classic nostalgia, the FXDR might be one of the most overlooked performance bargains Harley has produced. But our next bike shows something even more surprising, a touring motorcycle that dealers often struggle to sell simply because of who used to ride it. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Electra Standard. Sometimes the best deal in a Harley dealership is the bike that looks the most ordinary. The Harley-Davidson Electra Standard often sits quietly beside flashier touring models like the Street Glide and Road Glide. At first glance, it shares the same large batwing fairing, the same long touring chassis, and the same massive saddlebags designed for cross-country riding. But look a little closer, and you notice something missing: the electronics. Where many modern touring bikes feature giant touchscreens, navigation systems, Bluetooth connectivity, and layers of digital menus, the Electra Standard keeps things simple. Its dashboard is clean, traditional, and focused on the essentials of riding. Powering the bike is the Milwaukee 8107 engine, a 1746 cubic centimeters V-twin producing roughly 110 pound-feet of torque. That torque delivers effortless highway cruising, strong accelerations when merging, and the deep, mechanical rumble Harley riders expect from a touring machine. Because the Standard skips many luxury electronics, it is also slightly lighter than more expensive touring models. Fewer electronic systems also mean fewer complicated parts that could eventually require repair. For riders who prefer mechanical simplicity over digital features, that is a major advantage. So why do dealers struggle to sell it? Most buyers entering a dealership are drawn to fully loaded touring bikes packed with technology. Sales teams naturally promote those higher-priced models because they generate larger profits. The Electra Standard often gets overlooked simply because it lacks flashy upgrades. That lack of demand lowers resale value. Used Electra Standard models equipped with the Milwaukee 8 engine commonly appear between $11,000 and $13,000, while a comparable Street Glide from the same era can cost several $1,000s more. You get the same touring comfort, the same powerful engine, and the same long-distance capability, just without paying extra for technology you might never use. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Sportster 883 iron. The Harley-Davidson Sportster 883 iron might be the most common Harley on the used market, and that is exactly what makes it such a bargain. For decades, the Sportster lineup has been the entry point into Harley ownership. Riders who want their first V-twin often start with the 883 because it delivers authentic Harley character in a lighter and more manageable motorcycle. At its core sits the 883cc Evolution V-twin, an air-cooled engine known for its simplicity and durability. It produces strong low-end torque and the classic Harley rumble that many riders associate with the brand. The engine design is straightforward, using hydraulic lifters and minimal valve maintenance, which helps keep long-term servicing relatively simple. Reliability is one of the Sportster's strongest traits. Properly maintained engines frequently run well beyond 50,000 miles, and many owners report decades of dependable riding from the Evolution motor. So why are these bikes so cheap? Because of the upgrade cycle. Many riders buy the 883 as their first Harley. After gaining experience, they often trade it in for a larger Softail or touring model with more power. That constant flow of trade-ins floods the used market with Sportsters, giving dealers more inventory than they can easily sell. High supply pushes prices down. Today, used Iron 883 models regularly appear between $3,000 and $4,500, sometimes even less for higher mileage bikes. That makes it one of the most affordable ways to enter the Harley world. The Sportster platform is also famous for customization. Owners have transformed these bikes into bobbers, cafe racers, scramblers, and stripped-down street machines. For beginners, it is an accessible first Harley. For experienced riders, it can be a fun lightweight cruiser. And for builders, it is one of the best blank canvases Harley ever made. Sometimes the most common motorcycle turns out to be the smartest buy. Number 1. Harley-Davidson XR1200. When Harley-Davidson released the XR1200, it attempted something very unusual for the brand. Instead of building another cruiser, Harley built a performance street bike inspired by its legendary XR750 flat-track racing machine. The result was one of the most surprising motorcycles ever to wear the Harley badge. The XR1200 used a modified 1200cc Evolution V twin engine, tuned to produce roughly 90 horsepower. Compared to traditional Sportsters, the engine delivered stronger mid-range power and quicker throttle response. The bike also featured upgraded suspension, inverted front forks, dual front disc brakes, and a reinforced swing arm, giving it far better cornering ability than most Harleys of its era. In many ways, the XR1200 behaved more like a European naked sport bike than a traditional cruiser. But that is exactly what confused buyers. Cruiser fans felt the riding position was too tall and too aggressive. Sport bike riders still saw a heavy V-twin instead of a lightweight racer. The motorcycle did not fit neatly into any category, and sales reflected that uncertainty. Despite strong performance and excellent handling for a Harley, the XR1200 struggled to find its audience in the United States. Over time, something interesting happened. As more riders began appreciating its flat-track heritage and unique performance characteristics, the XR1200 slowly developed a cult following. Owners often praise the bike for its balanced handling, strong braking performance, and distinctive styling. In today's used market, XR1200 models commonly appear between $5,000 and $7,000, depending on mileage and condition. For a Harley capable of real cornering performance and aggressive riding, that price can represent exceptional value. It may not have been understood when it first arrived, but the XR1200 proved that Harley-Davidson could build something very different and surprisingly capable. And the next motorcycle on this list might be the most practical touring Harley ever overlooked, simply because it lacked one feature buyers thought they needed. So those were 10 Harley-Davidson motorcycles dealers often struggle to sell, but smart buyers know can be incredible bargains. Sometimes the best motorcycle isn't the most popular one, it's the one everyone else overlooked. If you enjoyed this list, don't forget to subscribe and check out the next video for more hidden motorcycle gems.